A modest, rundown apartment in a bustling city. The early morning light struggles to pierce through the cold, dusty windows. The sound of distant traffic can be heard faintly, blending with the hum of an old refrigerator. A single heater clicks on, its efforts to warm the apartment minimal at best. The camera pans across a sparse living room, cluttered with unopened bills, a few mismatched chairs, and a small coffee table that doubles as a dining area. In the kitchen, Jada, a 30-year-old single mother, stands at the stove. She's dressed in worn clothes, her hair pulled back in a messy bun. The aroma of scrambled eggs and toast fills the room as she moves with practiced precision, the weight of her day already visible on her face. Her son, Marcus, still sleeps soundly in his small bed, tucked beneath a thick blanket. Jada glances over at the clock on the wall, realizing that time is slipping away. She stirs the eggs, her tired hands moving on autopilot, while her thoughts drift elsewhere. Jada's thoughts. Some days, I feel like I'm drowning. The bills keep piling up. But I can't stop. Marcus is counting on me. She looks down at the bills scattered across the kitchen counter, each envelope a reminder of another responsibility she's barely keeping up with. Her shoulders slump for a moment, a flash of exhaustion crossing her face. But then, as if shaking off the weight, she straightens up, pulls her back with resolve, and flips the eggs with a practiced flick of the wrist. The camera cuts to Marcus, still fast asleep in his small bed, his face peaceful, unaware of the struggle Jada faces every day to give him a better life. I never let him see it. He's just a kid. He deserves to feel safe, to feel loved. He doesn't need to know how hard it is. Not yet. Jada places a plate of food on the small table, setting it beside a glass of orange juice. She walks over to Marcus's bed and gently shakes him awake. Jada, softly, smiling as she leans in. Marcus, time to get up, baby. We've got a long day ahead. Marcus stirs, blinking groggily as he sits up. Jada ruffles his hair affectionately before turning to grab her bag. It's an old, worn-out handbag, its straps fraying, the contents filled with a jumble of receipts, her phone, and other essentials. Every day is the same, isn't it? Wake up, work, and repeat. Just trying to stay afloat. She gathers her coat, glancing at the small apartment one last time before she heads out the door. The camera lingers for a moment on the cold walls, the cracks in the ceiling, and the pile of bills left untouched. But you know what? I can't stop. Not now. Not when I'm this close to something better. I just have to keep going. Jada closes the door behind her softly, leaving the apartment in silence, as Marcus begins to eat his breakfast, unaware of the weight his mother carries on her shoulders. The clatter of dishes, the sizzle of frying food, and the murmur of conversation fill the air. Jada stands behind the counter at the local diner, her apron covered in splatters of grease from hours of work. She's moving at full speed, weaving between tables with practiced ease, her tired eyes betraying the fatigue she's been hiding. She flashes a smile to a regular customer as she places a steaming plate of pancakes in front of him. The customer nods, appreciative, but Jada barely notices. Her focus is on the next task, refilling coffee cups, taking orders, checking the time on her watch. It's funny how you can get so used to the exhaustion that it becomes background noise. A constant hum in your head. I don't even know how many hours I've been here today. But I've got to keep moving. I don't have a choice. Jada's phone buzzes in her apron pocket. She slips it out quickly, trying to avoid being noticed. A message notification pops up: overdue, $289.85. Jada bites her lip and quickly swipes it away before anyone can see. She's been getting these notifications all week, but today feels different. The bills are piling up faster than she can deal with them. As she moves to another table, her phone buzzes again. This time, it's a call from her doctor. She hesitates for a split second, but the diner is packed, and she can't afford to stop now. She lets the call ring out, the screen showing the doctor's name before it disappears. It's probably just about the migraines again. I can't deal with it right now. Not when I've got so much more pressing. She heads back to the kitchen, where the smell of hot oil and cooked meat fills the air. A waitress hands her a tray of food for table 6, and Jada moves quickly, taking the order without breaking a sweat. Jada's shift continues, but her mind drifts. She reaches for her phone again during a brief lull in service. Her fingers swipe across the screen, checking the calendar: work, bills, Marcus' school schedule, a birthday she's forgotten to plan for. The weight of it all hits her in that moment. She stops for a second, taking a breath. Her phone vibrates again. This time, the notification isn't a bill. It's a message from her mother: "Cynthia, how are you, baby? I've been thinking about you. Can I help with anything?" Jada bites her lip and stares at the message, her heart aching. She knows her mother is worried about her, but Jada refuses to acknowledge it. She's too proud to ask for help. The phone buzzes again, a reminder from her doctor to call back about her health condition. She stares at the missed call from earlier and sighs. Another problem she hasn't had the time or energy to address. It's just another thing on the list. I'll get to it later. I always do. But she knows deep down that later is becoming more like never. Her head pounds, the pressure building in her temples as she tries to ignore it. It's later in the evening when Jada finally finds a moment to breathe. She steps out back behind the diner for a quick phone call. The cold evening air bites at her skin as she presses the phone to her ear, and her mother's familiar voice fills the silence. Cynthia, warm, concerned. Jada, sweetheart. I've been meaning to check in. How's everything going? I know you've been working hard, but are you okay? You sound so tired, baby. Jada sighs, the tension in her body tightening at the sound of her mother's voice. She doesn't want to burden her, but she can't help the ache in her chest. Jada, forcing a smile, but it doesn't reach her eyes. I'm fine, Mom. Just busy, you know? Work's been a lot. But I'm managing. You don't have to worry about me. Her voice wavers slightly, but she quickly covers it up with a half-hearted chuckle. Cynthia, gently. I'm not just worried about you working too much. I'm worried about you, Jada. You've been looking so worn out lately. Maybe it's time you let me help. I could send you some money or... Jada cuts her off, the words rushing out before she can stop them. Jada, firmly, with a hint of pride. No, Mom. I've got it under control. I don't want to be a burden. I can do this. I just need to keep pushing. There's a long pause on the other end of the line. Jada's hands tremble slightly as she grips the phone. Cynthia, softly, with love and concern. Jada, you don't have to do it alone. I just want to see you happy, not running yourself into the ground. Jada's eyes close briefly, swallowing the lump in her throat. Jada, with a sigh. I know, Mom. But I can't ask you for help. Not now. I'll be fine. Just let me handle it, okay? Her mother doesn't say anything for a moment, and Jada feels the distance between them, the invisible wall she's built around herself. They exchange some pleasantries before hanging up, but the weight of the conversation lingers. I don't want to let anyone down. But I also don't want anyone to see how close I am to breaking. I can't afford to ask for help. Not when Marcus needs me. Not when I've come this far. The sound of a phone ringing breaks the quiet hum of the apartment as Jada enters, carrying her bags from work. She sets them down on the counter and picks up the phone, wiping her tired hands on her jeans. It's the school, and the voice on the other end is professional, but there's a tinge of concern. School counselor, calm but firm. Hello, Ms. Jada? This is Ms. Williams from Marcus School. I wanted to discuss some concerns about his progress. He's been falling behind in his studies, and it seems like he's been struggling to keep up with his assignments. We've sent a few notices, but we haven't heard from you. Can we set up a meeting to talk about this? Jada's heart sinks as she listens to the counselor's words. She grips the phone tightly, her chest tightening. Jada, voice trembling, but trying to stay calm. Falling behind? I didn't know. I'll talk to him when he gets home. We'll figure it out. She hangs up, the weight of the conversation hanging heavy in the air. Her eyes move to Marcus' schoolwork scattered across the kitchen table, unfinished homework, crumpled papers, his pencil case half open. Jada's thoughts. I've tried so hard to give him everything. I've worked every hour I can, just to make sure he has what he needs. How did I miss this? How did I let him fall behind? Her hands shake as she picks up one of Marcus' unfinished worksheets. She tries to focus, but the guilt and frustration are overwhelming. She doesn't have time for this. She doesn't have the energy for it. But she's his mother, and it's her job to fix it. Later, at the diner, Jada is hustling between tables, serving food with a forced smile. Her head is pounding, each movement feels like a step on fragile ground. The migraine is back sharp, blinding, the kind that clouds her vision and makes it impossible to concentrate. But she doesn't stop. She can't stop. She leans against the counter, waiting for the cook to finish an order. Her vision blurs momentarily, and she feels the world tilt around her, but she steadies herself. She rubs her temples, pretending everything is fine. Her hands are shaky, but she fights to keep it together. Ray, her supervisor, watches from across the room, a concerned look on his face. He approaches her slowly, but she straightens up, trying to hide the pain. Ray, softly, concerned. Jada, are you all right? You don't look too good. She forces a smile and waves him off, not wanting to show weakness, not wanting to ask for help. Jada, forcing a smile. I'm fine, Ray. Just a little tired. It's nothing. Ray nods, but there's something in his eyes, something that tells her he doesn't believe her. Still, he doesn't press further. I can't afford to slow down. Not now. Not when I've got bills to pay, a son to take care of. I'll push through it. I always do. She forces herself to walk back into the fray, her headache pounding in rhythm with her footsteps. She ignores the dizziness, the nausea, the pain. It's just another hurdle. Another thing to get through. The day winds down, and Jada finally finishes her shift. She heads to her car, which has seen better days. It's an old, rusted model, another constant reminder of the sacrifices she's made. She slides into the driver's seat and starts the engine, but it sputters and dies. She tries again. Nothing. Her hands grip the steering wheel, but she doesn't panic. She has no choice but to deal with it. She calls a tow service, but they won't be able to get there until the next morning. She glances at her phone, but there's no one she can call for help. Her son, Marcus, sits quietly in the passenger seat, staring out the window. His mood is a reflection of hers, heavy, silent. The cold air outside starts seeping into the car, making Jada shiver. The thought of walking in the dark, with Marcus, in the cold, feels like the last straw. Jada, softly, almost to herself. Come on, baby. We have to walk home. They step out of the car and begin their long walk. The wind cuts through them, biting at their faces as they walk in silence. Marcus looks up at her, his face full of concern. He's always been perceptive, always picking up on her mood, even when she tries to hide it. Marcus, quietly. Mom, what's wrong? You look really sad. Jada doesn't answer right away. She just pulls her jacket tighter around her, trying to push through the cold. She's too tired to talk, too exhausted to explain. She doesn't have the words. She feels like she's failing him. Again. Later that night, they finally make it home. Jada is frozen to the bone, her body aching from the walk. She closes the door behind them and leans against it for a moment, her face pale and drawn. She's never felt so defeated. Marcus has already climbed into bed, his head resting on the pillow, his eyes wide open as he watches her with quiet concern. Jada sits down at the small kitchen table, staring at the pile of bills, the paperwork, the to-do lists. It feels like the world is closing in on her. She sits in the darkness for a long time, the weight of the day, the weeks, the months, pressing down on her chest. She can feel herself breaking. She tries to hold back the tears, but it's impossible. She walks to Marcus' room and kneels beside his bed. He looks up at her with wide, innocent eyes. She forces a smile, but it's fragile, shattered. Jada, softly, her voice cracking. I don't know how much longer I can keep going like this, Marcus. I'm so tired. I'm trying, but I don't think I can do it anymore. Marcus looks up at her, his small hands reaching out for hers. His innocence is overwhelming, and in that moment, Jada feels the weight of everything crashing down on her. But then Marcus, in his pure childlike way, reassures her. Marcus, innocently, with a smile. You can, Mommy. You always do. Jada's tears fall freely now, and she holds Marcus close. She doesn't know what to do anymore. She doesn't know if she's strong enough to keep going. But in that moment, she clings to him, to the hope he gives her, even if it's the only thing she has left. Maybe I'm not enough. Maybe this is where the story ends for me. The camera pulls back, leaving Jada and Marcus in their small, quiet apartment. The silence is heavy, but somehow, she still holds on, even if only for him. Jada walks down a busy street after another grueling shift at the diner. She's exhausted, but she's always on the move, her thoughts occupied with the usual worries, bills, Marcus, and the overwhelming weight of her responsibilities. As she walks past a trendy cafe, she stops when she hears a familiar voice. Elena, with a bright smile. Jada? Is that you? Jada looks up, surprised to see Elena, a former colleague from her old office job. Elena now looks successful, well-dressed, and radiating confidence. Her appearance is a sharp contrast to Jada's worn-out demeanor. Elena walks over to her with enthusiasm, hugging her tightly. Jada, smiling weakly. Elena. Wow, it's been ages. You look great. Elena, grinning. You too, but you look like you've been working non-stop. How's everything going? Jada hesitates for a moment. She doesn't want to dump her problems onto Elena, especially since their world seems so different now. But something in Elena's warmth makes her feel safe enough to share. Jada, sighing. You know, same old. Just working 2 jobs, trying to keep things together. It's tough. Elena, concerned. I can imagine. I remember how hard you worked back at the office. But I'm glad to see you've kept going. But, what about you, Jada? What do you want for yourself? You're stronger than this. You've always been so capable. Jada looks down, uncomfortable with the compliment. She doesn't see herself as capable, she's just trying to survive. Jada, softly. I don't know. Every time I think I'm making progress, something else goes wrong. It's like I'm stuck. Elena, gently. I get it. But you don't have to keep struggling this way, Jada. I know you're capable of so much more than this. You've got something special. You just need to believe in yourself. Elena leans in, her eyes serious now, as if she sees something in Jada that Jada herself doesn't recognize yet. Elena, with conviction. You've always been great at organizing things, managing chaos. Have you ever thought about starting your own business? Something small, something that you can control. Jada blinks, taken aback. A business? It seems like an impossible idea, one more thing to add to her already overflowing plate. But Elena doesn't let her dismiss it so easily. Elena, encouraging. I know you've got something in you. Why not start a cleaning service? You're great at making things look organized and clean. People pay for that, you know. It's a low startup cost, and you could start small with just a few clients. You've got the work ethic to make it happen. Think about it. Jada shakes her head slowly, overwhelmed by the thought. Jada, doubtful. I don't know, Elena. I'm already drowning with everything. I don't even have the time to sleep, let alone start something new. Plus, I can't afford the supplies or the risk. Elena sees Jada's hesitation, but she presses on, not giving up so easily. Elena, firmly. You can't keep working yourself into the ground, Jada. This isn't living. You've got to take a chance, or you'll be stuck in the same place forever. I'm telling you, this could be your way out. You don't need much to start. Just your time, your effort, and belief that you can make it work. Jada walks away from the cafe that day feeling a bit lighter, but the weight of Elena's words lingers in her mind. She can't shake the thought of what Elena said, "You're stronger than this." She doesn't feel strong. She feels exhausted, like she's been fighting an uphill battle for so long. But what if Elena was right? The next few days pass in a blur, but the seed of the idea is planted in Jada's mind. She can't stop thinking about it. Late at night, when Marcus is asleep, Jada pulls out her phone and searches online for cleaning supplies, local business registration processes, anything that could help her make this a reality. Her hands tremble as she scrolls, the thought of spending her last savings terrifying her. She doesn't sleep much that night, her mind racing with doubts and fears. But something else is growing inside her, a small spark of hope that maybe, just maybe, this could be the change she's been waiting for. The next day, she makes the decision. She uses the last of her savings to buy basic cleaning supplies, mops, buckets, cleaning solutions, and cloths. It's a small step, but it's the first step. She's doing it. She's finally taking control. I don't know if this will work, but I can't keep living like this. I have to try. I can't let fear hold me back anymore. For Marcus. For me. Jada starts small, taking on a few clients in her neighborhood. She cleans homes in her spare time after her shifts at the diner. At first, it's slow. She struggles to juggle both jobs, but something shifts inside her as she watches her clients' reactions. The pride she feels when she sees a clean, shining home is unlike anything she's felt in a long time. The work is hard, but it feels like it matters. Word of mouth spreads quickly, and soon Jada's cleaning business picks up a little steam. She takes a leap of faith and starts charging more for her services, but she's still careful not to overextend herself. She doesn't want to fail, not now. Her life starts to change. Slowly, but surely, Jada begins to believe in herself again. She feels a renewed sense of purpose, one that isn't just about survival, but about something more. Maybe this is what I needed all along. A chance. A way to take control of my life, instead of letting life control me. Maybe I've been waiting for someone else to believe in me, but the truth is, I have to believe in myself first. The scene opens with Jada working alone, scrubbing a client's kitchen floor. She moves quickly, but there's a weariness in her eyes, the kind that comes from juggling too many things at once. The clock ticks loudly in the background, a constant reminder of how little time she has. She wipes her forehead, pausing for a moment to catch her breath. It's late, and she's tired, but there's a certain satisfaction in the work. Her phone buzzes with a new message, a text from her mom, asking if she's okay, reminding her to take a break. Jada glances at it, then quickly puts the phone back in her pocket, continuing her work. She's gotten used to this pace now, working long hours at the diner, then coming home to clean houses, then starting again the next day. The work is relentless, but Jada feels a small sense of pride. It's slow. Really slow. But I can feel it, there's something here. Maybe I'm not where I want to be yet, but I'm getting there. One step at a time. I just have to keep going. Jada's body starts to betray her. She's moving more slowly now, the weight of exhaustion settling deeper into her bones. Her migraines, which have always been a problem, are getting worse. Each time she finishes a cleaning job, her head throbs with intensity, making it hard to focus. But she refuses to stop. She sits down on the edge of a client's couch for a moment, massaging her temples. She doesn't have the time to go to the doctor, and she doesn't have the money for treatment. The pain is becoming unbearable, but she pushes it aside. She has no other choice. The bills still need to be paid, the clients still need to be served. She picks up her cleaning supplies and forces herself to stand. I can't afford to slow down. Not now. The pain's getting worse, but I'll be okay. I have to be. Jada takes a deep breath and heads back into the kitchen to finish the cleaning. Her hands shake slightly as she works, but she refuses to acknowledge it. The migraine pounds at the back of her head, but she keeps moving, reminding herself that she's one step closer to something better. She can't give up now. The following week, Jada receives a call from Mr. Thompson, a high-profile client she recently cleaned for. He sounds impressed. Mr. Thompson, on the phone, warm and genuine. Jada, I just wanted to let you know how pleased I was with the work you did for me. You really went above and beyond. I've been telling my colleagues about you. I've got a few people looking for someone reliable, and I'd love to refer them to you. You've earned my trust. Jada feels a rush of excitement and gratitude wash over her. She had no idea that her work had made such an impression. She thanks Mr. Thompson and feels a spark of hope ignite inside her. This could be the breakthrough she's been waiting for. Within a few days, more clients start calling. Word of mouth spreads quickly, and soon, Jada's schedule is packed with new bookings. She feels the weight of her hard work finally starting to pay off. Jada's thoughts. It's happening. Little by little, I'm building something. I'm not just getting by anymore. I'm starting to make it. As the number of clients grows, so does Jada's confidence. She starts to feel more empowered in her choices. She has more financial freedom now, and for the first time in a long while, she feels a sense of control over her life. The weight of all the exhaustion is still there, but now, it's joined by something else: hope. Jada's life is starting to shift. As her business picks up, she realizes that she can't keep doing everything on her own. She begins to understand the importance of setting boundaries and asking for help. She hires Tina, a part-time assistant, to help with some of the larger cleaning jobs, taking some of the pressure off herself. In the evenings, Jada makes a habit of taking a few minutes for herself. She stretches, breathes deeply, and does small things to care for her body, things she had neglected for so long. She's learning to say no when she needs to, and slowly, she starts to prioritize her health and well-being more. The camera shows Jada smiling, walking out of a client's house with Tina by her side. She's feeling lighter, less burdened. For the first time in a long time, she feels like she's not just surviving, she's living. I've come so far. I used to be scared to ask for help, to let anyone in. But now I see, it's okay. It's okay to lean on others when I need to. I don't have to do everything on my own. The scene shifts to a sunny afternoon. Jada sits in a small cafe, sipping coffee and making notes in her planner. She's not rushing. She's taking the time to plan her next steps, expanding her business, thinking about long-term goals. She's still working hard, but now, she's doing it with purpose. Jada looks around the cafe, her eyes catching on the people and the conversations around her. For the first time in a long time, she feels like she's part of something bigger. She feels like she's on the path to something greater. Her journey isn't over yet, but it's no longer about just surviving. It's about thriving. Jada's thoughts. I'm not where I want to be, but I'm getting closer. Every step, every choice, it's all adding up. I'm not just a single mom working to get by anymore. I'm a woman with a business, a future, and a whole new kind of strength. Jada's smile grows as she looks ahead, her future full of possibilities. She knows there will still be challenges, but now she's ready to face them, not alone, but with confidence, strength, and the belief that she can handle whatever comes her way. The camera opens on Jada's apartment, now a bit more organized, reflecting her small but steady progress. The lighting is warm, and the faint smell of cooking fills the air. Jada is setting the table, humming softly as she arranges dishes, a sense of calm settling over her. She pauses for a moment, a small smile playing on her lips as she looks around the room, her space, a little bit more hers now. The doorbell rings, and Jada's face lights up. She opens the door to reveal Cynthia, her mother, holding a small bag of groceries in her arms. The two women exchange a warm hug, both of them holding on a little longer than usual. Jada, with a smile. I'm so glad you could come over, Mom. I've been wanting to show you how things are going. Cynthia, smiling, looking around the apartment. It looks wonderful in here, Jada. You've really made it your own. And you look so much better lighter. How are you doing, really? Jada hesitates for a moment, then invites her mother to sit at the table. As they settle down, Jada serves dinner, a simple but comforting meal. The two women chat about everyday things, the conversation flowing easily, but there's an undercurrent of unspoken words, a tension between them that has always existed beneath the surface. Cynthia watches Jada closely, as if sensing the unspoken burden still carried by her daughter. As the meal progresses, Cynthia finally broaches the subject that has been on her mind. Cynthia, gently. Jada, I'm proud of everything you've done. You've worked so hard, and I can see it starting to pay off. But I know you've been carrying a lot on your own. You don't have to do everything by yourself, you know. Jada places her fork down, her fingers tapping nervously on the table. She meets her mother's gaze, and for the first time in a long time, she feels the weight of her unspoken struggles come rushing to the surface. Jada, with a deep sigh. I know, Mom. I've always been afraid to ask for help. I don't want to burden anyone. I've spent so much time trying to prove that I can handle it all. But I'm so tired. Cynthia reaches across the table, gently taking Jada's hand in hers. Cynthia, with a loving, reassuring tone. You've always been strong, Jada. But even the strongest people need help sometimes. And you don't have to carry it all alone. You've got a family who loves you, and I'm here for you always. Jada's eyes well up, and she fights back the tears. The words she's been holding in for so long finally spill out. It's a moment of release, a chance for her to finally let someone in, to admit that she can't do it all by herself. Jada, softly. I guess I've been so afraid of failing that I didn't realize I've been shutting everyone out. I didn't want to disappoint you, or anyone. But now I see that asking for help doesn't make me weak. It just makes me human. Cynthia, with a warm smile. You'll never disappoint me, Jada. You've always been more than enough. And you deserve to lean on others when you need to. It's not a burden, it's love. They sit in silence for a moment, the weight of the past lifting as Jada allows herself to feel the comfort of her mother's support. There's a quiet understanding between them now, an unspoken promise that things can be different moving forward. The scene transitions to later that evening. Jada is alone in her apartment, her mind still processing the conversation with her mother. She takes a deep breath, her gaze falling on the phone in her hand. For the first time in a long time, she dials a number she's been avoiding, the doctor's office. She hesitates before pressing call, the weight of her decision lingering in the air. After a few rings, a receptionist answers. Jada clears her throat and speaks softly. Jada, with a quiet resolve. Hi, I'd like to schedule an appointment. I've been dealing with frequent migraines, and I think it's time I get it checked out. The receptionist confirms the appointment, and Jada exhales a deep breath, feeling a sense of relief wash over her as she sets the phone down. For the first time in a long while, she's taking care of herself, she's letting someone help her, and that feels like a major shift in her mindset. The next day, Jada walks into the doctor's office, nervous but determined. The doctor runs a few tests, asking about her symptoms and her overall health. After a thorough examination, the doctor finally delivers the news. Doctor, calmly, reassuring. Jada, your condition is manageable. It's chronic migraines, but with the right treatment plan, medications, regular checkups, and lifestyle adjustments, you can manage it. You don't need to suffer in silence anymore. Jada's eyes fill with tears of relief. She's been living with this pain for so long, not knowing there was a solution. It feels like a weight has been lifted off her shoulders. Jada's thoughts. I spent so long ignoring my health, thinking I could push through. But now, I know that taking care of myself isn't a weakness, it's a strength. I can't do it all alone, and that's okay. Jada leaves the doctor's office with a newfound sense of hope. She's still on her journey, but now she's armed with the knowledge that she can seek help when she needs it, that she doesn't have to carry everything alone. The camera opens on Jada's cleaning company office, a bright, welcoming space with the company logo proudly displayed on the door. The interior is modern, with a few employees working at desks, taking calls, and organizing cleaning supplies. The walls are lined with client testimonials and photos of the team in action. Jada walks in, her posture now confident and her attire reflecting her newfound success. She greets her small team, including Tina, who has been working with her for some time now. Together, they've built something that's growing fast. The company has expanded, and Jada is handling bigger contracts, office buildings, apartment complexes, and even corporate offices. In the back, Jada checks a whiteboard filled with weekly schedules and tasks for the team. The schedule is full, a far cry from the days when she struggled to get a few clients. I've come so far. The sleepless nights, the worry, the constant hustle, it was all worth it. I'm no longer just trying to survive. I'm thriving. Jada walks through the office, stopping to speak with Elena, her former colleague, now a close friend and advisor. Elena smiles, watching Jada with pride as she oversees the operations. Elena, grinning. I knew you had it in you, Jada. Look at this. It's amazing. Jada, smiling, humbled. I could never have gotten here without people like you believing in me. And my team. We've built this together. Jada receives a call from a potential client, a large corporate office building in the city. She listens intently, her heart racing as she hears the offer. Corporate client, on the phone, professional. Jada, we've been impressed with your work. We'd like to offer you a contract to clean our office buildings on a regular basis. This will be a long-term partnership. If you're interested, we can start next month. Jada's eyes widen with disbelief and excitement. The contract is large, and it's exactly the opportunity she's been hoping for. She thanks the client, trying to contain her joy, but inside, she's ecstatic. This is the break she's been working toward. This is it. The moment I've been waiting for. This contract is going to change everything. I can finally leave my second job and focus on my business full-time. Jada walks out of the office, her heart pounding in her chest. She stops in front of a large window, looking out at the city skyline. For the first time, she feels like she's in control of her life. After securing the contract, Jada decides it's time to take a break. She books a small vacation for herself and Marcus, some time to unwind, to celebrate their success, and to reflect on how far they've come. The scene shifts to a small beachside resort. Jada and Marcus are lounging by the ocean, the waves gently crashing on the shore. Jada watches Marcus play in the sand, smiling as he laughs and runs around, carefree. Jada sits on a lounge chair, taking a deep breath, looking out at the horizon. She's finally at peace, free from the weight of constant worry. For the first time in a long time, she allows herself to simply enjoy the moment. I never imagined that this life, the one I feared would break me, would become the one I'm proud of. I am strong, not because life has been easy, but because I didn't give up when it was hard. I've fought for this, for me and for Marcus. She watches Marcus, his face lit up with joy as he runs to her, and she realizes how much her journey has shaped not only her life but his as well. The struggles, the sacrifices, they've led them here, to a new beginning. The camera shows Jada and Marcus walking along the beach together, hand in hand. The sun is setting, casting a warm, golden glow over the scene. Jada looks down at her son, a sense of contentment in her heart. She feels like she's finally arrived at a place where she can breathe, where she can be proud of what she's built. They stop for a moment to watch the sunset, and Jada takes a picture of Marcus with her phone, a new chapter in their lives unfolding before her eyes. I don't know what the future holds, but I know this, I'm ready for it. I've walked through fire to get here, but I've learned that I'm not just surviving, I'm living. And for the first time, I feel like I'm exactly where I'm meant to be. The sun lingers on Jada and Marcus, the warm glow of the sunset surrounding them. The sound of the waves fills the air as the screen fades to black. The scene opens with a bustling community event in a local park. Bright decorations, tables lined with food, and a small stage set up for speakers. People mill about, talking and laughing, enjoying the atmosphere of unity and celebration. The camera pans over the crowd until it lands on Jada, standing near the stage. She's dressed in a simple yet elegant outfit, her posture confident and poised. Jada takes a deep breath as she looks out at the crowd, her eyes scanning the faces. There's a sense of pride in her expression, but also a quiet humility. She's come a long way, and now, here she is, invited to speak as a guest of honor, a role she never would have imagined for herself just a year ago. She steps up to the microphone, and the crowd quiets, eager to hear her story. She adjusts the mic, a small smile tugging at her lips, and begins to speak. Jada, with warmth and sincerity. Good afternoon, everyone. First, I just want to say how honored I am to be standing here today. This community, this event, it means so much to me. A year ago, I wouldn't have believed you if you told me I'd be here today. I was struggling, unsure if I could even keep going. But what I've learned through it all is that success isn't just about where you end up. It's about what you overcome along the way. The crowd listens intently, some nodding in agreement. Jada's voice grows stronger as she continues. Jada, inspiring. I was a single mother working 2 jobs, barely making ends meet. I felt like I was drowning, but I kept pushing forward because I had a dream to build something for myself, for my son. It wasn't easy. There were days when I wanted to give up, when I thought I wasn't strong enough. But I kept going. And that's what I want to say to all of you today. No matter what you're facing, no matter how hard it gets, you are stronger than you think. You are enough. Jada pauses, her gaze shifting across the crowd. She sees the faces of people who've been through their own struggles, and something clicks inside her. This moment is bigger than just her, it's about everyone who's ever felt like they weren't enough. She lets the silence linger for a moment before speaking again. Jada, with conviction. The hardest part of any journey is starting. But once you take that first step, you'll find a strength inside you that you never knew existed. I stand here today not because I'm special, but because I didn't give up. And neither should any of you. Jada finishes speaking, the crowd erupts in applause, and she steps down from the stage. She's greeted by a few people who congratulate her on her words, but she smiles humbly, grateful for the support. Her gaze drifts over the crowd once more, and she reflects on everything she's been through. She walks away from the stage, feeling a deep sense of peace wash over her. She's not just proud of her financial success, of the business she's built, she's proud of the woman she's become. Through every hardship, every struggle, she's found the courage to push forward. And in doing so, she's found herself. She walks over to a nearby bench where Marcus is sitting, playing with a toy. He looks up and grins when he sees her. She sits beside him, wrapping her arm around his shoulders as they both look out at the people enjoying the event. Jada's thoughts. I never imagined this life, the one that felt so far out of reach. But here I am. Not just surviving, but living. Not just succeeding, but thriving. The journey hasn't been easy, but it's been worth it. Every step, every struggle, every moment of doubt, it's all led me here. To a place where I can look back and say, I made it. And that's something I can be proud of. They pans upward as the sun begins to set, casting a warm golden light over the scene. Jada and Marcus walk hand in hand through the park, the peaceful sound of laughter and conversation filling the air. As they leave the event behind, Jada looks down at her son, feeling a deep sense of fulfillment. Jada's thoughts. Success is not just about the money, the business, or the recognition. It's about the journey. It's about embracing the struggles, finding your strength, and knowing that you are enough. And when you finally realize that, you'll see that the real victory isn't in the destination, it's in the person you become along the way. The scene captures a final shot of Jada and Marcus walking into the distance, a mother and son, strong and united, ready for whatever the future holds.